Now on 767 News, Domlec donates $10,000 towards the Education Trust Fund. 15 young men to benefit from prison rehabilitation project. 5 young men arrested in EC $1.75 million drug bust. And in sports, Australia's Adam Vogue proud of Test debut century, while Windies' Devendra Bishu takes 6 wickets against Australia. Welcome to 767 News, Dominica's #1 news source. I am Tanya Green, sitting in for Alicia George. Stay with me as I bring you the latest developments as they happen.
The Dominica Football Association presents the second leg of the FIFA World Cup Russia 2018 qualifiers. Canada versus Dominica, live at the Windsor Park Stadium. Thursday, June 11 from 7 p.m. Come shout at the top of your voices for Randolph Skelly Peltier, Michelle Baggio Joseph, Julian Juju Wade. The price is only $15 for adults and children under 12 pay only $5. You can't afford to miss this great football action. Canada versus Dominica. Canada versus Dominica. Thursday, June 11th, live at the Windsor Park Stadium. It's a goal! Dominica won! 767.
Thanks for staying with us. Time now for the details of the news. In an effort to support the youth of Dominica, Domlec has made yet another valuable contribution by donating $10,000 to the Education Trust Fund. General Manager of Domlec, Bertilia Mackenzie, said the company has made yearly donations to the development of the young people on the island via a variety of outlets.
We've been supporting the Education Trust Fund for over 5 years now. But that's not all we've been doing for our young people in the country. We have 21 students at secondary schools across the island. We are participating in the National Employment Program. We have 7 persons employed, young people employed with Domlec at this time. We also have 1 person at the Dominica State College, and Domlec is well known for its summer internship program.
Chairman of the Education Trust Fund, Willie Favre, said Domlec has been a major supporter of the organization and is elated to receive double in donations from them this year.
The donations committee approved a doubling of the donations that we get from Domlec every year. It pleases me tremendously. And I must say that Domlec has been one of our major corporate supporters over the years.
Favre is also urging the other members of the public and business owners to make donations to the organization in order for them to better assist the students in need.
It's obvious that Domlec is one of the leading companies in Dominica that recognizes the importance of educating our young people. I'd like to urge other corporate citizens who have not been making contributions to consider doing so, because some of the very young people who will be educated through the support that they get from the Education Trust Fund might very well end up working for them.
Minister of Education and Human Resource Development, Honorable Peter Saint-Jean, commends Domlec on the initiative to ensuring that the youth of Dominica get the opportunity to access proper education.
I want to express our profound gratitude to Domlec and please GM. We recognize the effort that you are making in ensuring that our Dominican youth are given an equal opportunity. Every young person is given an equal opportunity to access quality education, and we really want to commend you for that.
In years gone by, Domlec gave an annual donation of 5,000 EC dollars to the Education Trust Fund. However, new General Manager Bertilia Mackenzie implemented an increase, bringing their new donation to 10,000 EC dollars. Carryman, in collaboration with Domlec, has officially launched a prison rehabilitation project under the theme Engaging Young Male Offenders in Self-Development and Prevention of Violence. President of Kariman, Thomas Holmes, said this program was developed to give young men an avenue to discuss the issues that have affected their lives, causing them to fall into negative behavior, and help them resolve these issues.
Our main aim is to create spaces for boys, young men, and men to come together and discuss issues, social issues, issues that impact their lives both negatively and positively. And then the reason why we are here today is some of these young men, they have issues that have impacted their life negatively, and they're going to work with them to ensure that they do not fall into that same thing again.
Superintendent of the Dominica State Prison, Dennis Blanc, said this program is a great opportunity for the inmates to gain training and aid for their re-entry into society.
We are delighted to partner with Domlec and Kariman for this support system which they are providing to the Dominica Prison Service. The system will allow inmates to undergo training while in prison. Also, the participants will be monitored after being released from prison. Kariman and prison officers have agreed to assist in the participation in search of gainful employment.
General Manager of Domlec, Bertilia Mackenzie, said it is with great pleasure they make a contribution to this initiative, which seeks to give these young men a better chance at life.
This program, which will target young male offenders, is deserving of our support. And consequently, Domlec has unreservedly, wholeheartedly placed its backing behind this program, with the expectations that the objectives will be achieved.
As a mother and past educator, Mackenzie also used the opportunity to speak directly to the inmates and participants of the rehabilitation program, advising them to use this opportunity to better themselves in society.
Let nobody judge you. You are going to grasp that chance. You are going to work with it. You are going to work with you. So that when you go back out there, you will be respectable members of society. That's what I, as a mother, as a manager of Domlec, want for you. I'm not joking. I'm not playing games. I taught at the Dominica Grammar School for 4 years. I taught at the high school for 4 years. And I know a number of young persons who are in prison, who went to school if I saw at SLA, who I knew when I was teaching at convent and who went to SLA. Some of them passed through the prison. That's what I would want for them. And so, Jesus came that you might have abundant life.
Come on.
Amen. Grasp that abundant life. Grasp that abundant life through the choices that you make, that you start making. Now I want you all to look at me. Some of you are not looking at me. Look at me. I want you to grasp that opportunity and make the best of it. Yes, you get detracted, but forget that. You have a plain say now, move on and focus on what is best for you.
A total of 15 young men will be participating in the Kariman Rehabilitation Project. In more news, 5 young men are now in police custody following a major drug bust in Canefield on Wednesday, June 3rd. In an interview with the Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Claude Weeks, he said the men were intercepted at about 9:30 p.m. by police officers from the drug squad.
And having intercepted them and conducted the normal procedures on the scene, over 66,000 grams, and that's about 66 kilos of cocaine was found as well. That cocaine was seized, as well as a vehicle, a Grand Vitara, Suzuki Grand Vitara vehicle was seized, and the 5 men were arrested on suspicion. The investigations are continuing. No formal arrests have been made as yet.
ASP Weeks said the police will not relent and will continue to execute its duties in the prevention of crime and criminal activity. He said they are thankful for having removed that quantity of cocaine in the streets, which would have had negative impact on society, especially the young people.
The drug trade, the illicit drug trade, is a global phenomenon. It's a topical issue around the world, and all law enforcement agencies are fighting to minimize the impact or to curb the devastating effect or adverse effect that cocaine can pose on a population, on the nation, and when I say population, on institutions as well. Just as cancer is deadly, so too the illicit drug trade, trafficking, which brings about organized crime, money laundering, and it can be tied. You have narco trafficking of drugs, organized crime, international organized crime, and so forth.
ASP Week said fighting the drug trade is a phenomenal task. However, the battle continues and can be much more successful with the help of the citizenry.
As the citizenry must be educated in such a way to understand the negativity of illicit drug trafficking, the impact that drug trafficking can create or establish, permeate its way through the socioeconomic strata of the society, and especially more so our young people. So we won't relent. We'll continue to work hard, given our resources, and if we continue to do that, of course, with the consistent help of the public and the networking with our partners regionally and internationally, I'm sure that will continue to cause serious dents in the illicit drug trade.
The young men who will remain in police custody are expected to be charged with possession of and intent to supply the 66 kilos of cocaine. The street value of the drugs is estimated at EC $1.75 million. Cocaine is regarded as a Class A drug, while cannabis is a Class B drug in the Commonwealth of Dominica. We take a break now. When we come back, Dominica and Caribbean Tourism Organization, along with the rest of the world, observed World Environment Day. And fisherfolk urged to engage in proper fish sanitation practices. More details when we come back.
Play Daily 3 and get a chance to win daily cash from $20 to $100. For every $9 or more spent on Daily 3, you get a chance to win daily cash instantly. Up to $100 cash daily for 6 weeks. The more you spend, the more tickets you get, the better your chances of winning every day. Plus, there's a chance to win a refrigerator if you receive an entry form. Take a chance to win instant cash all day, all week for 6 weeks with Daily 3 daily cash promotion. Only from the Dominica National Lottery.
Welcome back. You're watching 767 News. Dominica, in collaboration with the Caribbean Tourism Organization, the CTO, on Friday, joined the rest of the world in recognizing World Environment Day, observed annually on 5th of June. This year's theme, 7 Billion Dreams, One Planet, Consume with Care, encourages people across the globe to rethink their lifestyles and, through conscious consumer decisions, decrease humanity's collective negative impact on nature's resources. At the CTO, they believe the region holds a singular dream that we can sustain the growth of our tourism sector to the benefit of our people, our visitors, and our environment. This is all the more important as our collective consciousness focuses on the impact of our tourism activities occasioned by the steady growth in the numbers of visitors arriving on our shores by air and by sea. According to the CTO, the reality that our ecosystem, its appeal as a tourism product, and the quality of life we enjoy in the Caribbean are inextricably linked, and has caused a welcomed shift in our tourism management strategies. This will ensure that there is greater awareness, policy infrastructure, and penal measures to support this balanced approach to our development. As leaders in sustainable tourism in the Caribbean, the CTO continues to encourage its members to go the extra mile in incorporating positive environmental practices through resource conservation, energy efficiency, and careful local consumption. Since its inception, World Environment Day has served as a platform to encourage all world citizens to do something positive for their environment. This year's overarching focus on resource efficiency and sustainable consumption is a reminder to all of all of us in the tourism industry, rather, for our dependency on critical resources and therefore our need to conserve. For World Environment Day 2015, let us play our part in adopting responsible, environmentally friendly behavior as a way of life, not only today, but always. In other news, the Health Department is urging fisher folks to practice proper fish sanitation, as this is vital for the safety of the public. The message came from Environmental Health Officer Karlma Lewis during a discussion on environmental health on Digicel Play TV as part of the department's month of activities for Environmental Health Month in June.
We've realized that fish is being sold to the public in any manner. If you walk down the road now, you might meet fish on a wheelbarrow, or you might meet fish in a cart. There is no ice, there is no storage, there is nothing. Fish, and you have spoilage. Fish can spoil. As long as fish leaves the water, it begins to deteriorate. Now we have a lot of fish poisoning, ciguatera fish poisoning. Maybe we may not have been getting any, or none has not been reported, but there are fish poisoning. It can be very detrimental to humans, fish poisoning, because if you eat fish that has already spoiled, you can, in a very short time, die.
Lewis said it is important that the public cooperate with them in their quest to ensure the proper practices are utilized to mitigate against the instances of fish poisoning.
We have been doing sessions with the fishermen, but we need to get it to a wider scope. We need the general public. Within the month, we're having town hall meetings. This is something that we have done already, but we just want to focus more on it.
Lewis said a town hall meeting was held in the community of Fonkole on Thursday, June 4, as that community is well known for the sale of fish daily. She said this meeting was important as the fishermen do not properly store fish on ice, which is vital to prevent spoilage and/or fish poisoning.
We also have one for Saint-Jean. So for Saint-Jean is coming up on the 8th of June. And Scott's Head on the 10th. And Marigot on the 12th. These are fishing communities, and these areas we need to broaden, we need to educate the public, the general public, what you should look for when you're purchasing fish. And if the general public starts to look at those things and become a wise consumer, then the fishermen are going to practice the very same thing that we are teaching them at the sessions or when we go out to do our rounds.
Lewis said fishermen should ensure they go out to sea with their coolers filled with ice to store their catch at all times. This practice, she said, should never be neglected. And on Wednesday, June 3rd, the government of Dominica unveiled housing projects in Bath Estate and Emzall, where 60 families will be chosen to reside under a rent-to-own contract. During the official site visit by Cabinet, Prime Minister of Dominica, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, said there is an opportunity for members of the private sector to invest in the apartment construction in collaboration with the government.
Herein lies an opportunity, I believe, for the private sector. There are people who have made millions of dollars out of the country and out of the citizens of Dominica. And I believe that the government is more than willing to make lands available to the private sector in a joint partnership, where they themselves would construct the apartments and sell to the public. There's a great opportunity.
Honorable Skerrit said he is of the view that this investment opportunity should not be left to foreign investors and construction companies, but rather locals, which will result in benefits for citizens and the economy of Dominica.
I do not believe that we should wait for a foreign investor to come in to do it and then say that the foreign investor is doing it. Here's an opportunity for the private sector, a consortium of them or individually, to move into the construction of apartments for the citizens.
Prime Minister Skerrit said with the large acreage of land owned by the government of Dominica across the country, his government would be willing to provide the land for such development projects by the private sector.
We have more lands there in Emzall we can make available. The lands in Warner, the government has several hundreds of acres of land in Warner that's also owned by Social Security. We have hundreds of acres of land in Portsmouth, in the Portsmouth area. We are more than willing to partner with the private sector. The government has large tracts of land that is prepared to partner with the private sector and to provide the concessions required to construct those apartments.
The Prime Minister also took time to say thank you to the government of China for making great contributions to housing projects in Dominica. He took the opportunity to extend condolences to the people of China following their recent loss of life, which took place after a cruise ship sank in China.
And at this time, I would like to extend our own condolences to the government and people of China, and specifically the families of the disaster which happened on the Yangtze River a couple of days ago. You know, one life loss is too many, far more for 400 people who have not been accounted for. So we understand, notwithstanding the size of the population in China, every life is important. And 400 lives and 400 families have been affected. You know, and we extend our prayers and solidarity and support to the Chinese government, its people, and specifically those families who've been affected.
A total of 458 people were traveling aboard the vessel when it capsized. The latest in sports is up next with Larry. Stay with us.
Play Daily 3 and get a chance to win daily cash from $20 to $100. For every $9 or more spent on Daily 3, you get a chance to win daily cash instantly. Up to $100 cash daily for 6 weeks. The more you spend, the more tickets you get, the better your chances of winning every day. Plus, there's a chance to win a refrigerator if you receive an entry form. Take a chance to win instant cash all day, all week for 6 weeks with Daily 3 Daily Cash promotion. Only from the Dominica National Lottery.
The Dominica Football Association presents the second leg of the FIFA World Cup Russia 2018 qualifiers. Canada versus Dominica, live at the Windsor Park Stadium. Thursday, June 11 from 7 p.m. Come shout at the top of your voices for Randolph Skelly Peltier, Michelle Baggio Joseph, Julian Juju Wade. The price is only $15 for adults, and children under 12 pay only $5. You can't afford to miss this great football action. Canada versus Dominica. Canada versus Dominica. Thursday, June 11th, live at the Windsor Park Stadium. It's a goal! Dominica 1! 767.
Good evening and welcome to 767 Sports. In tonight's coverage, we focus on cricket. Digicel hosted over 25 members of the Special Olympics Dominica team at day 2 of the first cricket test match, West Indies versus Australia at the Windsor Park Stadium. The Special Olympians were very excited to watch the cricket match live, being fans of the sport themselves. President of the Special Olympics Dominica, Ainsworth Iris, said they were very happy that Digicel has again made the effort to host them at cricket, seeing that many of them are cricket fans. Special Olympics Dominica is also preparing to represent the Nature Island at the World Summer Olympic Games in Los Angeles, California from July 25th to August 2nd, 2015. In more cricket, 35-year-old Australian batsman Adam Vogue said he is proud of his century scored against West Indies on Thursday, June 4th, when he made his debut in Test cricket at the Windsor Park Stadium.
Bit of a blur, really, to be honest. Obviously, we had that excellent partnership with Josh Hazlewood. I was on 99, he blocked that ball, the last ball that over. There was a big roar from the crowd. And then we hadn't been taking the first ball, the runs off the first couple of balls of the over, and I sort of came down to him and said, I might take the first one this time, mate. And he said, yeah, that's okay. So just massive excitement, massive relief. Just to be able to get this opportunity and make the most of it is very, very satisfying.
Vogue said scoring on the older cricket ball was difficult, so it was a sigh of relief when West Indies opted for a new ball. He said it was then that the batsmen went into attack mode as the ball was easier to score with. Vogue said Devendra Bishu, who started off bowling, made it very difficult to score runs.
Like I said, I think he got a bit more spin today, and it's tough to start against that sort of bowling. You're not sure how much it's going to spin, how high it's going to bounce, so just being able to spend some time out there and get used to that. What was happening was obviously really important. So, and again, I thought the guys down the bottom of the order did a terrific job.
Australia scored 318 runs before they were all out on Thursday afternoon. In more cricket, West Indies spin bowler Devendra Bishu says he's hoping to end the West Indies versus Australia Test series on a high note following his 6-wicket haul on Thursday, June 4th.
I enjoyed it. Very well. I have words to explain, but I bowled some really good balls today. and at the end of the day, it pay off. And you know, bowling out the team for that score, we just have to go bat and bat well now.
Bishu said he was never at any point thinking the Australians would have been comfortable with the lead that they had, and as such did the best in bowling. He said Australia is one of the best cricket teams worldwide, and other teams must bowl well and play good cricket to compete against them.
The reason why I think they was being aggressive, to try to take me off my line, coming and stuff like that. That's the whole thing about it. The wicket spin a bit, but at the end of it, you can't bowl too slow on it because it's easier. So you just have to put a little bit pace on the ball and the ball spinning.
Bishu said the West Indies are not here to compete but to win the series. West Indies ended play on Thursday on 25-2. And finally, in cricket, we now go to a report on Friday's test match, West Indies versus Australia at the Windsor Park Stadium. Cricket action at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium unfortunately came to a premature end on Friday, June 5th, when Australia outscored the West Indies. In the first innings, West Indies opted to bat first, scoring 148. In reply, Australia scored 318. While in the second innings, West Indies scored 216 all out, and Australia only had to score 46 runs, which they surpassed to win the series. The captains of both teams spoke to the media following Friday's end of play. Take a listen.
I think we played really well as a team, to be honest, in conditions that are certainly opposite to what you're accustomed to in Australia. I think we bowled really well in our first innings. We found a way to get a good lead, and then I thought we fought really hard throughout today as well on a wicket, like I say, that it was extremely slow, so there wasn't much there for our bowlers, but to be able to take 20 wickets is credit to the way they fought. So look, I've always been a big believer in I don't care who takes the wickets, I don't care who gets the runs, it's about getting it done, and I think we did that as a team. I think we won a test match in 3 days, so we should be really happy. Doesn't matter where you play in the world against what team, if you can win a test match in 3 days, you're doing a lot of things right. So the boys deserve a lot of credit.
We didn't bat it as well as we wanted to in the first innings, 148 on a good pitch, and then we had them, in the first innings with 9 wickets down. That partnership with the last wicket really took it away from us. Marlon Samuels and Young Darrage batted really well. I think with 1 hour just before and after that tea break, that's where we lost the game there.
Take us back to the first game where you won the toss and elected to bat first. Any regrets on that decision?
No, we decided on that. Once we win the toss, we're going to bat. There was no excuse. We batted poorly. Shot selections, wasn't up to standard. Yeah, we try to take the positive out of this game and move forward. As I said, they're a good unit, and we need to play a lot more tougher cricket. When we're in positions of strength, we need to carry that on. As we were, that partnership with Marlon and Young Darrage were 140, if we could have taken it to probably 200 plus, because it's a very difficult pitch to start. And guys who got start went on. You saw Adam Voges, he got that start, he made a big 100 for his team. I wouldn't say the pace was any problem. They swung the ball good areas. They created pressure, which they normally do, and we didn't handle that pressure as well as we could have.
And that's it for tonight's Sportscast. Tune in again on Monday for more sports.
Thank you, Larry, for the sports report. Now for a recap of the headlines. Domlec donates $10,000 to the Education Trust Fund. 15 young men to benefit from the prison rehabilitation project. 5 young men arrested in EC $1.7 million drug bust. And in sports, Australia's Adam Vogue proud of Test debut century, while Windies' Devendra Bishu takes 6 wickets against Australia. Drop us an email, friend us on Facebook, and be sure to like our 767 News page. From all of us on the 767 News production team, I'm your presenter, Tanya Green. Thanks for watching and have yourselves a wonderful weekend.